Greetings, salutations, and hello. My name is Logan Pardue, and today I'll be delivering a speech on how to successfully prepare and deliver a good presentation or speech. Now, I want to preface this by saying you may be wondering to yourself, how does this guy have the knowledge required to give this type of advice? Well, back in 2011, I was awarded first place in the state during a public speaking competition, which enabled me to go to a national level public speaking competition. During that experience, I learned a lot about not only how to present, but how to create a presentation that's really unique to each situation. So today I will be going over some of the things that I learned during that experience and also some things that I came up with myself that can really and truly help 100% improve your process of demonstration or whatever it may be, type of speech that you're giving or a presentation that you're giving as well. So the first two steps that I have for you guys are really they kind of go hand in hand, but they're usually separate, just no telling which one comes first. So the first thing is choosing your topic. So that's pretty obvious, just knowing what you're going to talk about, how you're going to talk about it, what tone you want to bring into the conversation or the speech that you're going to be giving. Just knowing the topic and being comfortable with it really helps out. Now, like I said, step two does go along with that, and that's knowing your audience and how to cater to them. So depending on what you're giving the speech about, you really want to change the tone of your voice, how you speak, what words you use, what main points you're wanting to hit. And you don't have to give up the integrity of your speech, what points you want to get across. But in order to give a more impactful and successful speech that lasts a long time in the audience's mind, you're going to want to know what type of things you need to say to your audience members. For example, if you're giving a speech to a bunch of kids, it's not going to be beneficial for you to talk about car insurance or like house payments or anything like that. On the flip side of that coin, if you're giving a presentation to a bunch of adults, they're probably not going to care about some new toys or video games that are coming out. So you want to veer away from those types of topics during that kind of speech. Another example would be if you're giving a topic to a bunch of males, making sure you cater it to things that more males would be interested in. And if you're giving a topic or a speech to a bunch of females, cater it to that way. Again, don't break the integrity of what you want to talk about. If you have main points that you want to get across, still hit those points. But you can give a more impactful speech if you know what type of audience you have. You can write the same thing, but just in a different way that'll be more understandable for different types of people. Now, step three may seem like something simple, but it's a really, really helpful step. Developing and writing or typing up an outline. So not just thinking about these are the points that I want to hit, but writing it out, typing it up enables you to have a visual representation or a visual aid for whatever you're thinking about. This does a couple things for you. The main thing that it does for you is it enables you to make sure that it flows as well as you're thinking it does in your head when you see it on paper. You might think these two topics has an easy transition in between them, but after writing it down and actually thinking about it, it might not be as easy as you would think. So making sure that you write and or type something up, that way you have a visual aid during this, is very, very helpful. Helps make sure that you're delivering a powerful speech, that it flows well, and that it looks good on paper. It's probably going to sound good when you're talking about it out loud. Step four is just become more comfortable with the content. This includes practicing, just reading information about it. And you might think that you already know about it, but when you're talking to a group of 100 people, that's 100 different perspectives, 100 different heads full of knowledge that are probably going to know at least one or two things that you don't know about. So just making yourself more widespread in terms of the knowledge that you have about the topic that you're presenting on is very, very helpful when delivering a presentation or a speech. It just comes through to the audience. They notice it. It looks like you're confident on stage or at the podium, whatever the case may be. You look more confident. You understand what you're talking about more, and that does shine through. When the audience sees that, they're more receptive to what you're having to say. This will lead to your presentation being more impactful and more powerful in the long run. Like I said, practicing on the actual speech is helpful, but also the little small things like your how fast you're talking, the breath like when you're breathing, the eye contact, the hand gestures that you're using. All these things really add up to delivering a powerful and successful presentation or speech. So practicing these things really does help. Another step that I have, and really this is a tip out of my book personally, is just record yourself and watch it over. When I was preparing for my speeches that I did for the state and national competitions that I competed in, I did that all the time. I just recorded myself. I recorded all the verbal and nonverbal cues that I had, and then I was able to be like, okay, that looks good, this looks good, that sounds bad, this sounds bad, which enabled me to improve my speech multiple times. It's not about just practicing it in front of a mirror, because when you're doing that, you're still thinking about it while you're doing it. You don't need to be thinking about giving the speech, you need to be thinking about judging the speech or presentation while watching yourself. This will enable you to have a different perspective on it as more of a listener and less of a speaker or a presenter, and you can really develop your speech in a different way. Another tip or step that you can take to really improve the quality of your speech is allow family or friends to watch the presentation. When family or friends watch, that's just more perspective that you have, and more times than not, they're going to be honest with you about how it was. They may give you positive pointers that help you, or they may critique you on some things that you can improve on. Either way, it makes you a better presenter or a speaker overall, which can ultimately just lead to a more powerful or impactful presentation. Now, following these steps really add to the overall presentation and can lead to you getting that job, making that A, or giving the best man speech that's ever been given. Good luck in any future presentations, and just remember that practice makes perfect, and following these steps will 100% improve your ability and quality of speeches and presentations that you give in the future. This has been Logan Purdue and my process speech on how to prepare and deliver a successful presentation. Thank you.